This is your homework helper, Mrs. Anderson. Today I will help you with Lesson 4, Represent Decimals. Please have your homework page ready and let's begin. Let's look at the homework helper section. We're going to be modeling and we're also going to be writing in word form and decimal. So if I have a model here for 98 thousandths, to write it in word form, I'll listen to the words I'm saying. 98 thousandths. And when I do thousandths, I always have THS at the end. And when I write it as a decimal, I think of the thousandths place. To the right of the decimal is the tenths place. The next place is the hundredths place, and the next place is the thousandths place. I need to put 98 in the thousandths place. 98 is only 2 digits, and I have 3 digits here. Because I'm working in the thousandths place, I absolutely have to make sure that I have a digit in the thousandths place. So instead of starting right here with 98, I'm going to start right here, 98, so that this thousandths place has a digit on it. And now this, I don't have any tenths, but if I put a 0 there, that will be that's like a placeholder. And so now I know that I have 98 thousandths. So let's take a look at the ones that you're going to do today. This one says to shade the model. Then after you shade the model, you're going to write each fraction in word form and as a decimal. So on this one, shading the model, I have 7/10. This unit has been divided into 10 pieces, and I need to shade 7 of them. So you'll go ahead and shade 7 pieces. After you shade the 7 pieces, we're going to write it in word form and decimal. Word form, if I say this here, we say this as 7/10. So I will write 7/10. And when I'm doing tenths, I always remember the THS. Now I'm going to put a semicolon just to show that this part of the problem is done, and now I'm going to do the decimal. I'm writing in tenths, and I know that the place to the right of the decimal is the tenths place. The digit I have is 7, and I only have a spot for 1 digit, which makes it easy. I put the 7 in, and I put a 0 right in front of it to show that there are no whole units. So that is my answer for number 1, 7/10 and 7/10. Okay, you'll go ahead and do this one for hundredths and for thousandths. Now on this one for thousandths, I notice I have to remember when I'm doing thousandths that this is the tenths, this is the hundredths, this is the thousandths. There's 3 zeros in thousand. That reminds me there's 3 place value places. Okay, then I have 91, and 91 is only 2 digits, but I have 3 digits available. I have to have a digit in the thousandths place, so I'll need to put the number 91 over here. All right, you'll go ahead and finish the front. Go ahead and push pause and get this work done. When you have it finished, then you can push play again, and we'll work together on the back. All right, here we are on the back. We're going to write each fraction as a decimal. So I'll need to look on the bottom to see what place value I'm going to. I know that in a decimal, this is the tenths, this is the hundredths, this is the thousandths. Okay, that can be written as 1/10, 1 100th, 1 1,000th. That's how I would 1,000th. That's how I would write it in standard form. So now I can think, oh, 1500ths. Oh, the hundredths place is this one here. So I'm going to the hundredths place. I have 2 digits, and I need to make sure that I fill the place in the, I need to fill this space in the hundredth space. So I'll write down 15. Okay, 8, I'm only going, oh, I need to go this way. This time I'm going to the thousandths place. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Now I'm going to the hundredths place. Tenths, hundredths, and then I fill in the, put the numbers in. Okay, you'll go ahead and work on that one. Number 11. But please remember, you can push pause at any time and then push it again to get going again with the homework. Okay, problem solving. Trudy is making a picture frame and needs nails that measure 375 thousandths of an inch. That's pretty small. At the hardware store, nails are measured in fractions of an inch. That tells me that the nails are smaller than an inch. So you can buy a nail that is 125 thousandths of an inch, 25 hundredths of an inch, or 375 thousandths of an inch. Which of these nails should she buy? Well, if I go back and see what she needs, this is written in a decimal. I'm just going to find the one where it's written in a fraction. Okay, number 12. It rained 16 hundredths of an inch on Tuesday. Write this amount as a decimal and as a fraction. Okay, 16 hundredths. If I think about it as a fraction, I'll write 16 on the top, and then it says hundredths, so I will need to write hundredths. When I write it as a decimal, I think this is the tenths place, this is the hundredths place, and I need to write the number in. And then I put a 0 on the front because there's not any whole numbers. At Richardson Elementary, 35 100ths of the buses were late. That means if there were 100 buses, 35 were late. Now, probably there's not 100 buses, but this is the fraction that they chose to use to represent how many buses were late. They were late because of a snowstorm. Write this fraction as a decimal. Okay, the places to the right of the decimal are the tenths place, the hundredths place, and the thousandths place. Now, I put the thousandths place in, but you don't need it. This only goes to hundredths. But this is a wise thing to do when you're writing as a decimal. And then remember that this is where you're going to go, because this is the hundredths place. Okay, which of the following does not represent the number given by the model? So you'll count, oh, I can count how many are colored in. It looks like there's 4 colored in. And how many pieces altogether? There's 10 altogether. So 4/10 does represent this model, so that one's not going to be the answer because I'm looking for one that does not represent the model. So you're going to read each of these other choices and decide which one is not 4/10. Thanks for watching this homework helper video. If you have questions, feel free to ask me tomorrow at school.